Let's have a chat about Procreate 5.4 because there's some really interesting things about this release. Not a ton overall, but what was announced is actually really important when it comes to digital art on the iPad and inside of Procreate. So Procreate 5.4 released very recently, and if anything like me, you jumped straight in and wanted to know what was going on. So let's have a talk about them today and how they can affect you as a digital artist. So first of all, there was the largest overhaul to Procreate brushes ever, and this is really exciting. Built into Procreate are some of the best brushes you're ever gonna need, and now we have access to 18 handcrafted sets that take us through a whole range of different mediums and art types. There really is no excuse now why straight out of the box with Procreate you shouldn't be able to create some truly amazing art. But all new brushes are just the start of Procreate 5.4. You can now build your own custom brush libraries, and this is the one thing which I think is really going to change the way a lot of people use Procreate on their iPads. This really excited me when it got announced, but more so when I jumped in and actually had a go with this, because it's pretty revolutionary when it comes to something like Procreate. Finding the perfect brush has never been easier because we not only are able to create new brush libraries, but we're able to see all different brush libraries there. I already know tattoo artists who are using this to create brush sets for different tattoo styles that they do, maybe realism, American traditional, neo-traditional. The access to this and having everything organized in their own sections really turns Procreate from a powerful app into something that everyone can use and have access to anything they need super quickly. Along with this comes brush search. Finally, I can search for the brushes that I want without tapping through all these different libraries. I might know what that brush is or a word that's in there. For instance, I love the 6B pencil. I don't always have it right on that sub menu ready to go. I can tap on search, hit the number 6, and there we go, 6B pencil ready to go. If you are like me and you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brushes, you've got multiple different brush packs over the years, and you just want to find them quickly, having a search bar, as small as it seems, is actually a massive deal. We have all new settings in the Brush Studio. Now, this is going to be a whole video by itself. Trust me, if I get into this now, we're going to be here for hours. But have a look at some of the changes there. I'm going to leave the link to the Procreate website down below, which explains the release of 5.4. And Brush Studio was already powerful and has become even more powerful. And finally, definitely not to be forgotten, is Brush's files integration and iCloud drive syncing. Absolutely massive. Anyone has ever changed iPads before and you've had to bring Procreate across, you know it can be a pretty painful experience. And from 5.4 onwards, you can now thankfully store your brushes in iCloud Drive or have them stored locally on your iPad and navigate to and organize them in the Files app. I shouldn't have to tell you what a massive deal this is. Again, if you are someone who has a lot of brushes and you just want to have a bit more control over where they are, or you do want to make that process easier if you are upgrading iPads, this is it. An absolute game changer. Some of the smaller changes as well include a reworked color panel. Not a lot of big changes here, but the interface has had a bit of a tweak, and color history for all iPads. This is something I wasn't familiar with, as I've always had the larger iPad, but apparently some of the small iPads didn't have color history, or the way they accessed it was a little bit different. So it's nice to have it across the board for all iPad sizes, no matter which one you're using. We also have some changes to the dynamic brush scaling, particularly to do with dual brushes. You can also record time lapses on very small canvases. Picking accurate colors from Reference Companion has become a whole lot easier, and there are other various fixes and optimizations that have gone on as well. I know on the surface this doesn't look like a huge deal, 5.4, but trust me, the changes that Procreate have made in here is not only going to make your experience more stable on the iPad, but it's also going to make the future of how you use iPad a lot easier. It's going to make smaller tasks quicker to do, i.e. choosing brushes or different brush libraries, or even editing those brushes in Brush Studio. Or if you are getting a new iPad, we no longer have that really annoying process where we try and install Procreate and we don't have access to all of our brushes. I just want to give Procreate a massive compliment for doing an update like this, which again, doesn't seem like the biggest deal to a lot of people, but people who use Procreate religiously day in and day out like myself, love this. This is a huge deal. So get out there, give these things a try. Trust me, you're gonna love them. And let me know down below which one of these was your favorite, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. That's gonna do it for this video. Get out there, use Procreate 5.4, and I'll catch you in the next video.